BookTube, it's Missy, and I'm going to be filming a wrap-up and then another TBR because I love read-a-thons. So the wrap-up is for the Read-O-Rama 4.0. Is it 4.0? No, I think it was just round 4. The Read-O-Rama round 4, the 4th Read-O-Rama, however you want to say it, hosted by Elizabeth over at the Owlry. There were 7 challenges. I have been I'm not in a slump. It's not that. I'm just absolutely too tired. It's too hot. I've been on vacation. It took me a week to recuperate from being on vacation. You would think that being on vacation would be a breeze, but when you are running around with family trying to, you know, put a lot in a small amount of time with children, it's like every day. So I needed a vacation from my vacation. So let's get on with the wrap-up. So the first challenge was to read 7 books. I did not do that. The second challenge was to read a book with Rama on the title. I chose Pet Cemetery. I read 4 pages. That right there is so good. I read 4 pages. Hey, did you know that there's only like 10 days left in June? And I have 2 Stephen King books I'm supposed to be reading, and I haven't even like started this really. You know, I tell myself that I'm a good person, and then I do things like this. I'm a failure. No, okay, let's move on. The next book was, or the next challenge was to read a book with a POC or person of color as the main character. I did not read a book with a person of color as the main character. So that one, we already knew that wasn't going to happen, so I confirmed it. Number 3, or actually it's like challenge 4, was to read a TV movie adaptation. Oh my gosh, yes, I can read a graphic novel within a week. This is the omnibus, and so it's actually volumes 1 through 3, so I did pretty good. The first story in here, 30 Days of Night, is pretty much like the movie, if you've seen the movie. I don't remember. Is the director Slade? Something Slade? I think. David Slade or whatever. Anyways, so it did follow the movie, or the movie followed the graphic novel pretty okay. I did enjoy the graphic novel better for storyline, but the movie was more fun to watch, if that makes sense. The illustrations are very gritty. They're beautifully drawn. Where is my pictures? They're beautifully drawn, super gory. The vampires are fantastic. I just wish it wasn't so dark, if that, I don't even know if that's a real thing. Like, it's supposed to be dark because it's night in Alaska, but because it was so dark, it was really hard for me to to see the illustrations themselves. But I did enjoy the book. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I will definitely be buying Omnibus number 2. All right, so I finished one for there. All right, 5. Challenge 5 was to read a collection of short stories. Yeah, I got through half of the first story, so I'm on page 17. Again, I can't do life right now. I've just been sleeping. At any moment, I have peace. So that means an hour and a half after work before I pick up the children, another hour once that the children have, you know, unpacked their stuff from school and had snacks, and before I actually make dinner. I need more sleep. All right, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, where am I? Okay, anyways, The next challenge, I'm not going to number it anymore because I'm lost. The next challenge was to read a book with one word on the title. That was Insanity. I did not read it. I did not pick it up. It stayed on the ground. I am not sorry. Okay? I'm not sorry. Because sometimes you can do stuff and sometimes you can't. And there's no excuses. Alright. The next one was to read a book with music in the book, like about music or hinting on music. I didn't have a book for that, and I didn't get anything. I didn't pick up anything with music in it. Alright, and the very last challenge was a buddy read, and I chose Beautiful Redemption, but I'm actually going to be reading it this week with Penelope, so I did Heartless instead, which is the 4th book in the Parasol Protectorate series. I'm reading this with Sylvia. We are currently on chapter 9, which is 192. So I did read half of this book. We are, you know, slowly chucking along. This will be read hopefully by the end of the week. All right, so that was my horribly unfulfilled wrap up for the Read-O-Rama. I have done better in the past, and I will do better in the future. So with all that being said, I'll try better next time. Let's get on with the newest read-a-thon, and that is hashtag TBR Takedown 4.0, hosted by Shannon over at Leaning Lights. I will leave her channel link down below. This is a last minute read-a-thon. It was supposed to be in July, but Shannon's getting a new job, and so she decided to, you know, jump it back a week, which is fine by me because I need to reuse all the books that I was supposed to read last week for this read-a-thon. So you'll see the same books, and it's okay. All right, so there are 5 challenges in this read-a-thon. By the way, the read-a-thon starts today, the 20th of June, and ends on the 26th of June. The first challenge is to read a book that you've had for over a year. I have not chosen a book for that category. What is wrong with me? This is one of the oldest books I've had on my shelves, and that is There's a Slight Chance I Might Be Going to Hell by Lori Notaro. This is a chicklet humor book. It is somewhat short. This is also part of my 52, read 52 books, 52 weeks or something. I don't know what the title is, but it's a challenge that I made for myself towards the beginning of the year. I'm really excited. I've already read a few books from that list already, so I think I can do this one. The font is kind of small, but because it is a humor book, I might read well. And let me just read you the very first sentence of the book, because that's what made me want to pick it up. It's not part of the prologue, but it's chapter 1. Every morning on her daily trip to the dumpster behind Starbucks, May made sure she was wearing lipstick and carrying her lucky stick. Yep. Why is she going to the dumpster? I love Starbucks. So yeah, I want to read it, and hopefully I can get to it sometime this week. I'm hoping, because the children's last day of school is Wednesday, that I will have more time to read. Keeping my fingers crossed. Challenge 2, it's sequel, and I will be reading Beautiful Redemption by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This is the This is the 4th and final book of the Castor Chronicles series, and I have this on audio. Penelope and I are starting it today. Penelope, are we starting it today? We did talk about it, so we will see. Loving the green. I love green at the moment, and so yeah, I can't wait to find out what happens to Ethan at the end of the book. The 3rd book was a cliffhanger that made me love the series even more, so I cannot wait to read this one. All right, number 3 is the first book in a series, so I have Insanity by Cameron Jace. I told you you would see books again, and I have to read this book. I'm never going to get to my TBR jar if I can't finish books from the TBR jar. I did read what is it? Bad Girls Don't Die. That was last month's pick. So I have to get to this one, and I will. So we have the three. I have 3 books for the challenges so far. The 4th challenge is to read a book out of your comfort zone. Now, this is not normally a book that I would choose, and this is a contemporary, right? But it also has to do with a traveling band, and is it like, not, is it a dystopian? I don't know what it is. But it won the National Book Award, and people on BookTube talk about it all the time, and I bought it because it was $1 and everyone talks about it, and I'm hoping I will like it. And so the Maddie Hatter and I are going to be reading this. It was supposed to be this month. She doesn't know, but I'm going to see if she wants to start it this week. Since I have so many books already started this week, what's a little bit more? Right. So this is book 4 in the challenges. And the very last book I have on my list, or the challenges that are on Shannon's list, is to read a book from your most recent book haul. And again, I really need to finish this one since I already started. So that's Vampires in the Lemon Grove by Karen Russell, and this is just a book of short stories. And so we have my 5 books here. They're all pretty skinny besides Beautiful Redemption. Oops, right here. But I do have it on audio, so that should help me out a little bit. And I'm hoping to get through some of them, all of them. I could, if I didn't do anything, I could read these. So we will see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Pray for me. All right. That is it. This is a very long video. I do apologize, like I always do. Thanks for watching. Are you participating in TBR Takedown? Let me know down below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. It is 104 degrees outside, and I'm trying to keep cool in my house until I have to pick my children up. Oh, it's gonna be death. 104 is not even that hot to some people, but I'm a delicate flower and I can't handle it. It's too hot in here and the air conditioner's on. All right, no more talking. Bye-bye.